So really the way this works, and this is something I actually developed going through and talking to House Call Pro engineers about a custom software build that we're in the middle of, we have packages appear, and if you put in, we use something very similar to this spreadsheet for all of our calls, and this is what the call center does. So if you have a 2,500 square foot house, we're able to generate these numbers. And let me make sure you guys can, let me zoom in a little bit. I'll make sure you guys can. Whoa, not that much.
That's perfect.
That's great.
See most of that? Okay.
Yep.
So these prices are generated based on square footage pricing, right? So we're not going to bother talking about the multiples that I use because they're going to be different from my business to your business. They're going to be different from the fact that I'm in Austin, Texas, and I generally only service gated communities, to the fact that you're in rural Nebraska and you guys don't have communities. I don't, right? Like, so the multiples you have to figure out based on your actual pricing, but we price based on the size of a house. And this gets, it gets very specific. It gets very detailed. And then we make it a range, right? So for this particular 2,500 square feet, we're going to quote $150 for gutter cleaning. So we're going to quote $125 to $175 for gutter cleaning. I don't even know what we're multiplying it by in this particular spreadsheet, but whatever it is that you pick, right? Break it down to either size of the house. For cleaning companies, I was coaching a cleaning company the other day, and we were able to base their pricing on two different ways, and they picked one, and we were able to base their pricing on square footage or number of bedrooms, because a house with a certain number of bedrooms generally has a certain number of common areas. Again, we're going on averages, and it's really important that you let your customers know, like, based on the fact that you have 4 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms, we are going to extrapolate that price to $800 or whatever it is that you do it. And it's really important that this is based on actual numbers. So when we were developing the numbers that we're currently using, I took several years of previous data where we had window counts and gutter measurements and all of this stuff and square footage of these houses. And we put it all into a big data spreadsheet, and we were able to get averages, pull averages out of that. And when I say a bunch, I'm talking about, I took 6,000 in-person estimates and converted them into a spreadsheet. And we were able, I'm a data nerd. And so if you're not, like, find somebody who is, but I took almost 6,000 estimates and put them all into a spreadsheet and extrapolated out data and on a scatter chart. And we're able to take within one, now we're getting really nerdy now. So within plus or minus 10%, let's say it that way, we were able to get a price based on square footage for our services. That is plus or minus 10% with ignoring an outlier here or there. So that is the concept that went into the spreadsheet you have in front of you. And so that's how we did this. And you can see the chimney sweeping and the dry vent cleaning, those are flat rates. Those don't change. Solar panel cleaning is $8 a panel. You can usually count panels in the method we're going to go into in a minute. So for the services, we can go virtually like this, so go online like this. This usually happens on a phone call, or very soon will happen in an embedded software that we're going to have on our website. But this is how we come up with the pricing for the individual services. Cool. It's based on the size of the house. So then if we move into services that we can't book online, so real quick disclaimer, I have no idea, this house you're looking at here in Leander, Texas, this is not a customer. I have no idea whose house this is. Please don't show up at their house and knock on the door. It's not my house. Just a house I picked off of Zillow because it's simple. Yeah. So the first thing we do is we get the address, right? And we Google the address, and we come up, if you look at Zillow, a lot of this comes up integrated into House Call Pro, but we want the photos. We want the ability to see more pictures if we're doing a roof wash for these guys. So we Google the address, we bring up Zillow, we can see their square footage right here on the top. And then we can see pictures of their house. For these guys, this is all pretty common, right? You don't get a lot of pictures of the outside of the house on Zillow. So we usually have to move into something else. So we come into Google Maps, and what we're looking for on a roof wash, right, is it going to be safe to clean that roof? How are we going to do it? Do we need ropes and harnesses and anchor points? Or can we clean it from a ladder, right? I mean, most people realize that a roof wash is basically spraying a chemical mixture onto a roof and letting it work and then rinsing it off. So that's what we're looking for in this house. So this house on Google Maps, we can see this is a pretty simple 1-story, low pitch roof house. Right. So what we're able to look for. So if these people call us and they want an estimate for a roof wash, what we're looking for is this a simple roof wash? Is this something we can give them a price based on the surface area of their roof? In this case, it would be, right? Like we're going to be able to spray this entire thing from a ladder. We're not going to have to walk around on a roof. There's not a lot of safety concerns. I mean, there are, but there aren't a lot of surprises on a house like this.
Can you reshare again, Zach?
Can I reshare? Of course.
Yeah. So we can see the roof, because having the visual is awesome.
I'm sorry. Was I not sharing the roof?
Oh, you were, and then it turned off. Now we're good again.
Now we're back.
Good again.
Okay. Sorry. I didn't realize it turned off. So right again, like this is one that we're going to be able to do virtually. We're going to be able to do this all over the phone, looking at this and a couple of other photos, right? So we look at this, then we're going to look at street view. We're going to see the pitch of the roof. We're going to be able to judge on a 1-story house. This size, this is what, 2,000 square feet? 30.
2,000.
We're going to be able to, knowing our equipment, knowing what we know about our equipment and the way we clean, we're going to be able to do this without getting on the roof, which means we're going to be able to avoid almost all of the safety equipment. Like this is a very simple and safe house to do a roof wash on. So what we're going to do from there is we're going to move into Google Earth, and Google Earth Pro. Can you guys see this screen now?
Yep.
Google Earth Pro is a free program from Google. There are other programs that cost a lot of money made primarily for roofing companies that do a lot of things automatically. We are going to avoid all of that expense by using Google Earth Pro. Google Earth Pro allows you to do some really cool stuff. Let me adjust just a little bit. So this is the house in question. So Google Earth Pro, we can draw a polygon on top of it, and we can talk about all this stuff in more detail later, and I'll be able to answer questions for people. But we can go like this, and we now have a polygon of approximate area of 2,600 and 2,700 square feet. So if you charge 25 cents, let's just pick an easy number. We go 2,700 times 25 cents for a roof wash. You're looking at a roof wash price of $675. So we quote that anywhere from $625 to $750 or $650 to $750. And that is going to cover all of the possible issues that we run into on a simple roof that size.
Very cool.
Real quick, if we contrast that with a roof like this is a whole other thing.
Wow.
This is one of the ones.
Is that a report?
We're just quite simply not going to be able to give them. We will give them a price. Like right now, in the middle of the coronavirus, in order to get this job locked down for when we're able to do it, we'll give them a price, but the range is going to be huge. Like, let's just being realistic. That I know for a fact, because I know where this house is and I know the area. This house is built on the side of a cliff. We are going to have a lot of difficulty getting to the house. It's a tile roof house, and we're not going to be able to get it all from a ladder. Like, we're going to have to walk around on this roof. So that brings in all sorts of issues that we're going to have to be in person to accurately measure. How do we write all the OSHA issues, all the safety issues, what happens if we break a tile walking around on this roof? So this is the exact opposite of that simple house that we just talked about. This is one we can absolutely get the size of it, but it's not something that a flat 25 cents or 35 cents or $1 a square foot is necessarily going to cover. This house, I have actually been to this house. This house, we were looking at doing a roof wash, was going to involve a lift rental, and there was no way to know that until we got there. Mm-hmm. So there are limitations to virtual estimates. So realize where those limitations are. For us, it has a lot to do with roof washing. It has a lot to do with tile roofs. Metal roofs, people get scared about a lot, but there's actually some really cost-effective anchors that make metal roofs very easy to work on. Tile roof is a whole other thing. So for us, if this house comes up and wants an estimate for a roof wash, like I wish I could tell you that I had a great solution for this, and I don't. Like, there are limitations.
So, okay. So if this was my house, Zach, and I said, hey, Zach, you know what? Can you give me a quote? What would you tell me? Like, we hop on the phone.
Yep.
Hey, I'd love to get a quote of my house. I live at 7921 Big View Drive here.
So what I would tell you that you are over our threshold for a virtual estimate, and we're gonna have to send somebody out. We generally leave our virtual estimates on houses 6,500 square feet or below, and 2 stories and below. The fact that you have a 3-story roof line and you're over 6,500 square feet is going to trigger an in-person estimate. And I can get one scheduled for you Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and you don't need to be present for us to do it, as long as you're okay with us walking around the perimeter of your home.
Cool. Yeah, so that's a good line. That was one of the things that we shared, which is like, know your limitations. This is obviously like your limit.